Hey, what's up, students? How you guys doing? I hope everybody's still taking care of themselves and everybody's in good health during these times. For this week's lesson, you should be on quarter 4, week 3. Last week, you guys learned about cells in general, right? It was just a brief introduction to cells. You learned about the different types of cells, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cells, and that animal cells and plant cells are different. So we're going to dive in a little bit deeper this week, okay? We're going to talk about what's inside of the cells, all right? Specifically, organelles, okay? What are organelles? Organelles are different structures that are found inside of the cell that carry out various different functions that help the cell run smoothly. Okay, so you can think of it like organs in our body. Okay, we have a body, but there's organs inside of our body that help. They carry out functions to help our body do what it's supposed to do. Right. So an organ that's in our body is the heart. Right. Heart pumps out blood through your body that helps you function correctly. Another organ are your lungs, right? Your lungs breathe in air, gets the oxygen out of the air to send to your bloodstream to put oxygen throughout your body so your body will function correctly. All right, so those organelles are similar to those organs in our body, but they are inside of cells. Okay, so we're going to be learning about the different organelles and their different functions, and we're going to be learning about that in this week's project. All right, let's talk about the project you're going to be working on this week. It is called the Organelle Trail Project. All right, so grab your hats and saddle up, Bronx. It's time to head down to the Oregon Trail. Your job is to gather all the information you can about some wanted organelles. At the end of this cyber trail, you will need to whip up 3 wanted posters in Google Slides to show the other U.S. Marshals in your camp, which would be your other students, or in this case, me. All right. So we're taking an old Western theme on this project, guys, and I want you to get real creative with it. Okay, we're going to be creating some wanted posters about these organelles based off of their functions they do inside the cell. So if we scroll down, you can see it's in 3 parts. Okay, so the first part will be to take a look at this list of organelles. You're going to do research on all of these organelles. Then you're going to choose 3 of them. You're going to choose 3 of them to make your wanted posters in Google Slides from. Okay? Now, I've helped you. I got you a little starting point down below right here. There are different resources. I gave you 3 different resources you can use to help with your research. All right. You do not need to just use these 3. You can use other ones also. But this is just to give you a start. So if I were to click on resource 1, you can see this one is sort of like a simulation, to where you scroll over the cell and it'll show you what's inside of a cell. Now this happens to be a animal cell. If you were to click on the plant cell, it'll give you a different cell. All right. Remember, plants and animal cells are not the same. Now, while you're scrolling around inside of the cell, once you stop on one of the organelles, it'll tell you the name of it.
Golgi apparatus.
All right. Or let's stop on something else. Did I have nucleus?
Nucleus.
All right, so you stop on nucleus, it'll say nucleus, then you just click, and then it'll go into some information. All right, it'll load the information. As you see right now, it's loading.
The cell's nucleus stores and protects the organism's unique DNA blueprint. Pores in the nuclear membrane act as gatekeepers, selectively allowing molecules in and out. The intricate process of creating RNA copies from DNA is carried out in the nucleus. This is the first step in creating new proteins.
All right, so then you just click on back to cell. All right, and then you can go and look at somewhere another organelle. Okay, so that's just one resource. And if you go to other resources, they have different resources for that also. Okay, so just don't use those three. Use your own, your own research. Next, once you've gathered all of your facts, this is how you're going to place them on your poster in Google Slides. All 4 of these things right here needs to be on that Google slide, or each Google slide, right? You should have 3 slides because you are making 3 wanted posters for 3 organelles. So the crime. So what is the crime of the organelle? Basically, what it's saying, I'm asking you to do is, you're going to tell the crime by telling its function, okay? So you just learned, or you just heard, that the nucleus protects the DNA. So a crime for the nucleus would be it didn't protect the DNA, all right? Didn't do its job, that's the crime. We will know its job by telling the crime. Physical description. What does the organelle look like? Provide a description or an actual picture. Okay, so you can get your pictures from online. Just get a picture of the organelle to put on the poster or on your Google slide. The location. Where should we look for this organelle? Remember, there are 2 types of cells. There's plant cells, there's animal cells. Which one is that organelle located in? Or is it located in both? Its accomplices. In other words, what other organelles helps the organelle you choose do its job? Okay. The nucleus is sort of like the central unit. It tells all the other organelles what to do. So if you chose nucleus, all of the other organelles help the nucleus do its job. All right. So those are some of the things. That's how you will transform your information to fit inside of a wanted poster. Okay. So once you have all your information and you know how you're going to put the crime, you're going to put the physical description, the location, the accomplices, you're going to, once you have all that on your Google Slides, remember you should have 3 slides. You're going to click here to submit your Google Slides. Now, before you submit it, I have a little checklist down here, 3 things that you need to have on those 3 slides, okay? So you're gonna have to have a picture of the organelle. You're gonna have to answer all of these that's in part 2, in part 2, you got to answer all of those in your own words. Do not copy and paste, all right? Do not copy and paste. And then 3, the last thing that I have down here in part 3 is make sure that you are creative, okay? Don't just I want you to have fun with it. Come up with creative ways you can describe their functions and turn their functions into an actual crime. All right, let's look at one example of a wanted poster created in PowerPoint. All right, so right here you see they have a wanted sign. They have a picture of the organelle. They got creative and named it Wi-Fi the Golgi. All right, so their organelle is the Golgi apparatus or the Golgi bodies. All right, they have a reward down here where, again, they got creative. Over here is where the information is that they are required to have. That was in part 2, okay? All this information tells you what to put in it from part 2 in your instructions. Location. Mr. Wi-Fi Golgi was last seen close to Samson Smooth ER, which is the endoplasmic reticulum. They were creative with it. They named it, gave it a name, and everything. I like that. All right, Mr. Wi-Fi Golgi was also seen in an animal cell and a plant cell. Remember, some of these organelles are only found in animal cells. Some are only found in plant cells. Some are found in both cells. And they told the location of the Golgi apparatus. Now the crime, the function. Mr. Wi-Fi Golgi is wanted for packaging and shipping illegal substances. This illegal substance is called protein. Okay? The function of the Golgi apparatus is to take in proteins. They package the proteins up, and then they ship them off to wherever they're needed inside of the cell. Okay, they took that function and then they got creative with it and called it an illegal substance. Okay, and put that into their wanted poster. They changed their function into a crime, but we still know what its function is based off of the crime. Okay, so that's where you guys can get real creative with your organelle that you choose functions. Okay, so their function, whatever they do, that's going to be their crime. And get creative and then change it. So it's a crime. All right, structure, description. If you ever seen Mr. Wi-Fi Golgi, you have to make sure that you contact the police. The way that Mr. Wi-Fi looks is like the Wi-Fi symbol or a stack of pancakes or plates with syrup dripping off in tiny vesicles. Now, again, they provided a picture and they provided a written description. You need to put both in your wanted poster. You need to have a picture, and then you need to be creative and give a written description also. All right, accomplices. The police think that Mr. Wi-Fi Golgi is working with Pablo Nucleus because they are the ones sending them Will ribosomes. They are also working with Rodriguez Rough ER to get them through the border or cell membrane. Again, they took all of the organelles, they gave them names, Will ribosome, Pablo Nucleus, very creative. And then they told how they are helping, or they are accompanying the Golgi apparatus, okay, what they do to help them. All right, so that's how you're going to kind of organize your wanted posters in PowerPoint. Now, do it have to be that way? Does it have to look that way? No, it doesn't have to look that way. I want you guys to get creative, okay? Get creative with how you describe their functions, how you make the crime fit their functions so we know what their functions are, and the way you name them, and the way you design your poster. All right, I'm very, very interested in seeing what you guys come up with. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. All right, feel free to email me, contact me. You know how to contact me. Contact me any way you know how to. All right, I'll be glad to answer your questions. All right, so good luck, and I'm looking forward to seeing these, and I'll see you next week.